Hey everybody, excuse my workout attire and everything like that, but I just had to come on right now and share this word. I want to make sure I get it recorded as soon as possible because it really hit with me. God, here's the thing about our purpose. Regardless of which path we choose, because there's multiple paths, they will all lead to our purpose. And here's the thing about the paths. Okay, and this is what God gave me. Like, God just gave me this fresh download. Here's the thing about the paths. There's going to be a path that is slim, straight, nothing but trees. Okay? Nothing but trees on each side. Hedge of protection, if you will. It's hedges on each side. Okay. Okay, so yeah, it's got the trees on each side. It's got the hedge of protection. It's got the hedges on each side, hedge of protection, if you will. Not really much to look at. And then there's a path that is kind of, it's a little more windy. It's got a bunch of detours, but it's got sightseeing. It's got the good restaurants. It's got the good stops. It's got the good things for your eyes and for your tongue and for your, all that feel-good stuff. But the fastest route between point A and point B is a straight line. Okay? So the fastest way to get to your purpose is that straight path. That path that it's got nothing but, trees on each side. It's got the hedges on each side. But it's the straightest, it's the fastest way to get to your purpose, to get to your destination, to get to your point B. And so a lot of people will be like, yeah, that'll get me where I'm trying to go faster, but it's boring. It's not a lot to look at. It's not a lot of feel good. I got to stay like focused a lot. I don't really want to do that. But the thing about having not a lot to look at on either side, if you've ever been on a road where it's just like trees, you've been taking, like driving somewhere and that's all you're seeing, it really makes you appreciate the sky. It really makes you look up. You get what I'm saying? It really makes you focus on the sun, on the beauty in front of you, the beauty above you, rather than being distracted looking at these things, these destinations, these little stops on the sides of you. So the focus, the narrowness, the simplicity of the road makes you appreciate the things that really matter, the things that are lasting, the things that are eternal, not the things that are temporary, like, feel good for a second. Like if you ever been on a road trip and you've been on the road that's more windy, got a whole bunch of stops, got a whole bunch of like sightseeing or whatever, you stop and you go to these places and you're eating and you're doing and then you get back in the car and you notice, I don't feel like keep moving. I'm kind of tired now because I stopped and I walked through this whole little thing and I went through that whole little thing and I ate this and I ate that and now I'm feeling a little tired. Now I'm feeling a little sluggish. Now I'm feeling a little slow. And it makes your journey even longer. It makes your journey even longer. Okay. That's what I'm saying. It makes you, when you're on the more narrow road, you still get to enjoy beautiful things because, you're seeing the birds flying, you're seeing the beautiful sunset and sunrises, the cool breeze, the fresh air, all those wonderful, beautiful things that don't slow you down, that do not cause any harm, because who knows, when you're eating on the road, you are not eating things that are good to your body. You're not. You're eating things that are usually just trash. Trash. A bunch of carbohydrates and sugars and preservatives and whatever. So you're not intaking anything that's doing your body harm. You're only intaking things that are doing your body good, and they're beautiful too. And they're pleasant too. They're pleasing too. Yeah. On the more narrow road, Yeah, the narrow road, when you're traveling that road, the things that you are intaking, one, whatever you're eating, you brought with you. So you made a choice. You're not just getting what you can, where you can. You've made a choice that this is what I want to have in my body, and you've prepared when you're on that narrow road. You're not just, oh, well, now I'm feeling like I need this, I'm craving this, so I'm going to stop. I'm going to try to find this here or that there, or I'm hungry, so I need this. I need to eat, so I'm going to go get this burger, even though I know it's not good for me. I'm going to go get this slushy and some candy, even though I know it's not good for me. You've already prepared, you've already packed things that you know are good for you. You can prepare. Now, you might still pack some stuff that's not good for you, but it's stuff that you know you can handle. That makes a difference too. Also on the narrow road, the things that you are seeing, like the beauty you want to take in and the fun things, they're not slowing you down. You're looking at the beautiful birds flying, or the sun rising, or the sun setting, or the beautiful skyline and the clouds and all the beautiful colors, taking in the fresh air, all the different colors of the trees, all the different beautiful foliage and all those things like that. You're taking in all of that beauty. So you're still getting to have an experience, still getting to see things that are pleasing to your eye, but they're things that don't slow you down. They're things that don't hinder your journey or your path, right? So it's like, yeah, it may seem boring in comparison to that, but when you look at what it cost one to the other, the narrow road is the least cost with the most gain. The narrow road is the least cost with the most gain. And even though everybody over there and be like, oh, that was boring, you didn't even do anything. What did you even take pictures of? What do you even have memories of? What do you da-da-da-da-da-da? And all of this. But I got to my destination and I had more time in my destination, my purpose, to create memories of the thing that I was striving to get to, instead of having memories of the things that hindered me from getting where I was trying to go, that caused a slowdown, that caused me to be sluggish, that caused me to not reach my destination in the time that I desired it to. What I'm saying is, on the narrow road, when we're talking about our lives, the person who did it God's way, that didn't have a lot of flair and distractions and, ooh, taste this good thing, taste that good thing, experience this, you mess around with this, and that. They have what they pack to go with them. So they didn't have to scrounge whenever they felt empty. They didn't have to scrounge for the scraps from this person and the scraps from that person, little scraps of love, little scraps of confidence, little scraps of acceptance from everywhere, because they had what they packed. And I'm saying that everything that they packed was the best, because it may be some things from family still that's packed in you, but you also got God's word packed in there. So you got some good stuff packed in there so that you can keep moving towards your journey and not get distracted, right, by all these little things off to the left and to the right. And you still get to see beautiful things and have a beautiful experience, because God is going to constantly be moving in your life along this path. Even though it's a quicker path, you're still going to see beauty, right? And not the things that the world necessarily deems as, oh, this is what you need to see and experience on your journey, but real true beauty. Okay? Whereas the person who does it the world's way, the way that's a little more winding, got a bunch of detours and stops and sightseeing and distractions, you wasted a lot of time on things that don't last, because that food's going to pass right through your body. That little souvenir is going to get lost, right? That little 5-minute experience, or it may be even longer. I went and saw this for a couple of hours, and Whereas if you do it the world's way, you are on that windy path with all, you're going a little bit of this way, then you go a little bit of that way, and you kind of figuring and finding out from trial and error. And you have all these things, all these distractions to each side of you, this little idea, that little moment, and this little venture, or this relationship, that relationship, this person that you slept with for a minute or two, that person that you were just seeing what would happen, and all these distractions to the left and the right, and then you didn't prepare. You have nothing in you prepared. So when you get empty, you're running and looking for anyone, anywhere, distraction. And you're trying to get filled, right? You're trying to get something to fill you when you feel empty. And you're constantly feeling empty again because nothing that you're looking for to fill you has any real sustenance. And it can't sustain you for very long. You're back to that empty feeling again. And you're back to searching off to the sides again. So now your journey's even longer. And by the time you get to your destination, you have spent so much time on all these distractions, all these ventures, all these relationships, all these possibilities, all these moments of trying to get full off of nonsense, trying to feel validated off of nonsense, that by the time you reach your destination, by the time you reach your purpose, you have a short period of time. You don't have very much time left, right? Where the person who stuck it out God's way and stayed in God's will through the whole path up to the purpose, they reached their destination at 20, 30, maybe even younger, because they stayed on the straight. They stayed on the fastest path, the fastest path from point A to point B is to go in a straight line. Whereas you did a little here, did a little there, did a little dilly-dally swerve and move, and something that you could have gotten to at 20, you're not getting to until 30. You're not getting to until 40. You're not getting to until 50. Yes, you're still, but I mean, even with that, you are still getting the purpose. You still get to live in your purpose. You still get to have that good life, but you're not having it. You're not going to have it for as long as you would have or could have. So I guess this is like a double-edged thing of the reality of this is, if you are younger and you are starting your walk and you are starting your path, do it God's way. Do it with God's will, okay? So that you can get to your destination and have the most years living in a beautiful life and in purpose as possible. And if you haven't done it God's way, and you've taken that and you're on that windy road right now, you're like, it's too late. I can't cross over to the narrow road. I'm on this windy road. I can straighten up the path I'm on now, but I've taken so much. Yeah, and you're like, I can try to straighten up my path. You can choose to say, yeah, I'm on this road that has tons of distractions because this is the choice that I've made to step on this path. But you can also say, although they are there on every side, I'm going to keep pressing forward, and I'm going to choose the beauty of the Son of God instead of running to this side or that side to be entertained by the world, by the distractions. You can still choose to do that even on that path. And the really sad thing is, a lot of people get discouraged and get so distracted that they die there. They die on the path. They die there. They don't keep pressing to the other side, to the promise. They get distracted and lose their life to their distraction. Right? Just like being on a road, getting distracted, and you lose your life to your distraction. You don't have to, okay? And even though you've chosen this path, you can still get to the other side. This path is harder. That is why I say don't choose this path. It's harder. It is so much harder. It is harder to focus on getting to your destination with so many distractions around you and with so little to sustain you. And, just like if we're going back to the original analogy, you can pack the healthy things like you would for when you're on the narrow road. But if you haven't packed them, it's hard to find them. Just like in life, it's hard to find the good stuff when there's so much bad stuff for you to easily, faster and easier get to, okay, access the negative stuff, the bad stuff, the things that won't long-term sustain you. It's harder to find a grocery store on a trip than it is to find a fast food restaurant. You see what I'm saying? Yeah, the cost is higher of the fast food and it's less sustaining for you. It's less sustaining for you. Okay? So you have to work harder than the person on the narrow path to get the good things that sustain you too. That's something that makes it harder. It's harder for you to continue on your journey because you have so many things to pull you away from your path and to distract you. That makes it harder because once you've decided this is what I want to do, I'm focused, I can see my purpose ahead of me, but I'm on this path that I've chosen that's got 10 million distractions. And I've already succumbed to so many of the distractions, and it's hard to say no. Once you've compromised once, it's easier to compromise than it is to stay convicted. Not convicted, that's the wrong word. We don't want to be convicted. We don't want to be convicted. Committed. But once you compromise, it is easier to continue to compromise than to stay committed to your purpose, to your destination, to your goal, to your path. So that's why I say, if you are young, if you are just now choosing a path, if you are just now starting out on moving towards your purpose, moving into your life, yeah, that path over there that most people are going to take, that most people are going to say is cool, it's fun, it's whatever, it puts you at such a disadvantage as far as living the purpose that you want to live, living the real life that you want to live, walking in your purpose, walking in peace, walking in this beautiful life. It's going to take additional time away from that you could be living your beautiful life. It's going to be spent on not only things that don't last, that don't weigh out to the good and the best for your life. It's also going to cost you time to heal, mend, and fix those things that you've now wasted money on, that you've now wasted time on, that you've now wasted yourself on, undoing what you've done. That's, you're going to be spending time doing it, and then you're going to have to spend time undoing it, and then you're taking more time away from your most beautiful life. So to young, this is just choose your path wisely. Yes, both in with the purpose And both, yes, at the end is purpose, or both paths can end in purpose. And when I say can end in purpose, I mean like if you don't get so stuck in a distraction on this road over here that your car dies. You got your car running over here in this distraction, and it dies, which means you're dead. You perished in the distraction. So no, you didn't reach purpose because you didn't come to the final destination. You didn't. There's a date. There's a limit. There's a limit, right? There's a limit to how long our bodies are going to be here. We don't know the limit. God knows the limit. There's a limit. There's a limit on our life. There's a limit of how many years of life we will have. And the limit's not for God to say, like, it's not like the limit is going up and down and all around based on whether you're doing good things or bad things. But sometimes we speed up God's timetable with some things because we get stuck inside of stuff. We get stuck inside of certain addictions, certain behaviors that are just depleting our life very quickly. Get stuck inside of those things. So even that road is a threat to you even reaching your destination. It's a threat to your life. So, choose your path wisely. Choose your path wisely. And to those who have chosen this path and they're on this path right now, straighten up, stay focused, stay looking straight ahead, keep your eyes on God, and He'll provide a detour. He'll provide a detour for you to walk the straight path. Don't get distracted before the detour. Don't go off to any of the distractions, the other detours that are not from Him. Because there will be some that seem like they're good, but they're not. Wait for the detour from God, and when it comes, take it and get on a straight path. And get on that path. Get on that path that seems boring. Take that detour to where you're just going to be seeing the trees, the hedges, the hedge of protection all around you. And it's not a whole bunch of distractions, sightseeing, things you don't need. And get to your purpose. You still can get there. Have hope. If you've chosen that path, you still can get to your purpose. Have hope. Have hope. Okay? And if you haven't chosen your path, choose wisely. Because everything that looks good ain't good. Everything that looks good ain't sustaining. And some things that look good can cost you your life. Okay? Some things that look good can remove you from good forever. And I say all this as a person who chose the wrong path initially when I was actually moving out of the gate from being a teen to a young adult. I chose the wrong path. And even though it looked like I had myself fixed up and prepared like I was going to take the narrow path, I didn't. I took the path with all the distractions, and I had to come back around, and I had to focus enough to see God's detour and take it when I saw it. And I'm so thankful that I took it before my life was taken inside of some of the mess that I let myself get distracted over to the side to. So this is a word of warning. Don't choose this path if you don't have to. And if you've chosen it, focus for the detour. Take the detour. Stay focused. Any distraction you're currently in, come out of that. You know, whatever it is, hurry up and get out before you die there. Because who would want to die there? You have a beautiful life promised to you. You have a beautiful purpose promised to you. But you're stuck in a distraction that's depleting you, and you could die there. Come out. Get focused. Find the detour to get you on the fast path to your beautiful life, to your purpose. It's waiting. It's waiting for you. Don't die where you're at. Your beautiful life and your purpose is waiting for you. Just get your eyes focused on God for the detour. Take it. Take the detour. Be love, be light.